This is an off-the-cuff chat with Nick Hodgson and Ray regarding the benefits of meditation bangles, taken on my iPhone in our backyard. Enjoy.
Keep going.
Come on, keep going.
But you know, I've had many people who had their horoscope analyzed, by Astrogems, which is a free program, and it'll say, you can almost rate the recommendations by the weight of the gemstones recommended, and also sometimes you've got to take into consideration the amplification of that particular gemstone quality. Some gemstones are more powerful per carat than others. But whenever I see a large Rahu recommended in somebody's chart, sometimes it's a large blue sapphire for Saturn. Rahu would be Hessonite garnet. So whenever I see a large Hessonite garnet recommended for Rahu, which is just an area in the outer stratosphere where the moon eclipses the sun, the Hindus call it an energy field, Rahu. So to a Westerner, they go, what the hell's Rahu? It sounds like a Mexican tap dance or something, but it's a planetary energy field in the Hindu astrological system. And because it's where eclipses occur, it develops a vortex of energy that's significant enough in electromagnetic radiation that the ancient Hindu astrologers considered it an invisible planet. Anyway, at the time of your birth, when it's placed, if it's not placed in a good position, you're going to have a negatively or a weakened receptivity to the benign aspect of Rahu. And commonly in my experience, people with a weak Rahu have compulsion issues, bad habits. They can't stop themselves from certain behavior patterns. Drinking would be one of them. Drugs is an obvious one. Sex is a very
sugar.
common one. But then sex is, we're living on sex planet, so, sex is an issue for lots of people because there's so much outer stimuli and promotion of that, system. But the thing about Rahu is it has a specific electromagnetic frequency, energy field, resonance. And if your electrical body cannot integrate it into your system because you've damaged yourself karmically from past lives, then what occurs is you need a supplement of that energy. And what the rishis explained is you wear a good quality Hessonite garnet. It can be a pebble if need be, as long as it's good quality. Good surface contact area, touching your skin in a well-seated manner. Then that will act like a supplement, electromagnetic vitamin supplement, as it were, on your electrical body, and you'll actually become slightly less compulsive in the gravity of that tendency. And in a pattern, give an example, say Mercury, so the communication planet, languages, thinking, study, it's the academic, it's fast, some people just have whiplash fast thinking minds and can learn new software programs or how to run a video machine or something in the old days when wasn't clear how to run them, whatever. And they are receiving into their electrical system and integrating and implementing very successfully the benign electromagnetic radiations of the planet Mercury. And what that basically means is that they put into operation in their past lives a lot of habits that are promoting the brain muscle, promoting the strength of their mind. And as a consequence, they are able to relate and integrate and implement, like I said, the benign planetary radiations that are coming from the planet Mercury. Now, any logical person will go, hang about, get real. There's a planet, 50 million miles away, over there, that's affecting me and how I think. That's ludicrous. And I go, yeah, it does sound ludicrous, but think of it in a pure physical context. There's this huge spinning planetary body, which has got a lot of minerals in it and a lot of gases in it, spinning like a dynamo in the cosmos, creating an electrical vortex that has a very powerful electromagnetic radiation. And you're right about it being so far away, but guess what? It's in a vacuum. There's no resistance in a vacuum. The only resistance occurs when you go to our outer atmosphere. It might as well be closer than the moon. It's in a vacuum, you know. And so yes, it has powerful electromagnetic radiation that does affect our aura, that does affect our electrical field, that does affect our electrical body. And the rishis in India explain that our electrical body, our karmic pattern, is primarily held in our chakras, and that everything we do, say, think, or act is recorded in our chakras like a tape recorder. And when the planets are in a particular position in the heavens, as it were, there's a trigger point of resonance that occurs that will pull out that karmic disposition. And it can be repetitive, like a compulsive habit. An example to clarify what resonance is, because when people say that, hear the word resonance, it generally goes over their head. Resonance, to give an example, is you have two guitars in each corner of a room, and you pluck the E string on one guitar. The resonance of that wavelength will make the other E string on the other guitar vibrate. That's how powerful resonance is. Well, it's the same thing with the recordings of the good deeds and the not so good deeds in your electrical body being catalyzed and triggered and fulfilled by the planetary stimuli, by the planet's electromagnetic radiation stimuli, to say it correct. And there's this duality of resonance going on all the time within our environment, with people we meet, but especially planetarily. Now, what you need to do when you have a particular weakness and you're resonating with negative phenomena is you need to strengthen your electrical body. You need to uplift the consciousness of your electrical body, as it were. It's not just what's conscious in your mind, but there's another form of consciousness that's kind of inherent underneath our being, as it were. And the rishis very kindly researched and offered this science to mankind, which is completely clueless and unaware of thinking about such things, and pretty much is just into eating burgers and watching the game, about what we are and how we interact. And the rishis explain that particularly good quality crystals, because the alignment of the electrons in their molecular lattice have characteristics that are able to amplify a certain kind of resonance or electrical field, and they will shift your disposition subtly, but they'll shift your magnetic pull, your magnetic, almost destined magnetic propulsion for the just deserts of your past karma. And so, prayer, focused meditation, willpower, getting the blessings of a great saint, pujas, mantras, they're all basically wavelength emanations of influence that can mitigate or nullify the negative effects of your past actions, this life and the past. The beautiful thing about gemstones is that they don't require willpower. They don't require conscious effort by putting it on the ground to wear. And there are basically, there's many different forms of medicine, and electrical medicine is the least invasive and the least destructive, and generally the most benign, but commonly the most subtle as well. And physical medicine generally addresses the physical body. Well, the mind is an electrical circuit field, as it were. It requires far more subtle, benign influences than Prozac or physical chemicals. And life force in food is what really lifts you up. And if you eat lots of dead food, you're going to become fairly dead by nature. It's just like That's why there's so many lethargic, uninspired, uncreative people living in their patterned Groundhog Days throughout their life, and they're wondering why they're not satisfied with their life. You know, they've got everything, but they're in a rut. And it's a pity at university or at school we're not taught the gravity of the deep significance of the impelling importance of how we can change our consciousness and all the different modalities that can be used to do that. You can only be as happy, as you know, because you suffer from depression a little bit. You can only be as happy as the receptacle of your mind will allow you to be. And in other words, if you've only got a small receptacle in your mind, you often actually might be quite content when it's full. But after a while, your nature will say, I want a bigger receptacle. I'm bored with this egg cup of happiness. I want a fruit bowl, whatever. And then when you get to the fruit bowl, you'll go, dang, I want a swimming pool, and it'll go on ad infinitum like that. And that's basically spiritual growth. That's basically what all the religions are trying to offer when they talk about God. They're saying you'll never have bliss or peace or happiness or samadhi or nirvana until you apply certain laws. And our religion's got the best laws. I'm not going there, but that's basically the crude analogy. But the bottom line is the inherent instinct in you, higher than your desire to stay alive, is to be happy. And gemstones are just a minor tool amongst the matrix of that cornucopia of solutions. And that's it.
So
What was your question? Where's the toilet? Oh, sorry, it's down there.